Hello. So, we are here with UBL Season 11 Finals. Didn't think I'd make it, not gonna lie. I just didn't expect this. Especially because this feels like deja vu. Just a little bit. Because our finals opponent is in fact Lord Nobody. For the second season in a row. This is kind of funny as well, because Lord Nobody is like a really great player. For every season that they've... So for the past 4 seasons they've played in the UBL, they've made it to finals every single time. In Season 9, where I lost with Bundle, Sand stuff, they ended up losing to Kathy in finals. In Season 8, they didn't play. Season 7 was the last one where they made finals. Was the first one that I know of that they made finals. And they lost to me. In Season 10, they lost to me. I think they're gonna be gunning for my throat for this one. So, that's not to say that this is gonna be easy. Lord Nobody is a great player. And their team is really good as well. It's obviously, they made it to finals, and they've made it look easy, for the most part. Like, I think they dropped, even including playoffs, 3 games total. 1 to me, 1 to Rat, and then 1 to Kathy, who they played in semis. So yeah, the team's very good, it's very adaptable. And they know how to play it very, very well. The team, for a reminder, consists of Dragapult, Alolan Ninetales, Empoleon, Crocodile, Colossal, Airtick, Thwackey, Farigiraf, Sneasler, Fletchinder, and Spooper. So, it's got very adaptable speed modes. That's the thing. Very unique ways of having speed control. Obviously, there's Fletchinder, but, like, they don't need Fletchinder. In fact, I feel like I've rarely seen them bring it. Because they've got Unburdened Sneasler, either with Fake Out with Normal Gem, or with the Grassy Surge from Thwackey. They've got Alolan Ninetales plus Beartick for Slush Rush, which they ended up bringing against me in the regular season. As well as Colossal. They've been using Colossal once again this season to great effect alongside Aquajet and Empoleon. So, but alongside that, Thwackey is also a great form priority. Dragapult is just naturally unreasonably fast. And even Alolan Ninetales is very fast with Icy Wind as well, so it's like they've got all forms of speed control, even on the fast side, and then they've got probably one of the best anti-Trick Room Pokemon in Farigiraf. Like, it's just good at doing everything for Trick Room, while also dealing really good damage. And Spooper is Redirection at the end of the day. Weirdly, I think Fletchinder is somehow the worst Pokemon on their team, because it's just like, it's not needed, like, they don't need the speed control from it. Turns out, like, the ways that they have are just good enough. And of course, I didn't mention Crocodile, but Crocodile is just a great Pokemon overall, so... yeah. Really scary stuff. Something I think I mentioned at the start of this season was actually the fact that Ghost types are actually pretty good against my team, and Dragapult is arguably the best. It can just click Shadow Ball against my team pretty freely, so it's something to be aware of. Despite this, I actually think I have a really good matchup. It's rare for me to think that, but I thought about it for a while. I do genuinely think I have a good matchup, and and thanks to a bit of testing, shoutouts to Kathy once again. They gave me some help with testing. It feels really good. I struggle to think of a 6 Pokemon combination that is going to make this unreasonably difficult. The only thing that's going to make it difficult is the player. So, what is the team that I'm bringing? Well, it's time to unreveal my secrets. When I came to Lord Nobody in Week 5, I knew I wasn't bringing my A team. I knew I was bringing my B team. So we start off with Ogerpon Cornerstone, as always. Now, it's, you know, it's a different style, but it's still Ogerpon at the end of the day. But this one is more supportive. We've got Follow Me, Taunt, Ivy Cudgel, and U-Turn. Ivy Cudgel, even with the lesser attack investment that you might notice, still can OHKO a Ninetales that isn't bulk invested. And we outspeed it because we are Jolly Max Speed. I'm not taking that risk. The extra defensive investment, though, is actually based on what they brought last time, which was the Icicle Spear. Beartic, it was Life Orb, and I assume Adamant, because they don't need to go Jolly. So this takes 2 hits from an Adamant, Life Orb, Icicle Spear. If they get the 3 hits, we die. But if they get the 2 hits, which from my understanding is a 40% chance. From what I understand about 5-hit moves, it goes 40, 40, 10, 10 for 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits. So there's a 60% chance they don't even kill us with Life Orb, Icicle Spear. So 40%, yeah, it's a 40% chance we live. If they're just running Icicle Crash this time, then, you know, we've got the Sturdy, which is great. So, which is why they ran Life Orb, Icicle Spear last time, to get that. And they can run loaded dice, but that weakens the power of their other moves, which I think is the reason why they went with the Life Orb, so. But, as for the moveset itself, this is more supportive. We've got Follow Me and Taunt, because it allows us to shut down some of the more annoying Pokemon. Follow Me, just redirecting is great. It'll let us set up where we need to. Because we've got a couple things we do want to be setting up with, and that's why Cornerstone is going to be a guaranteed lead. It's also going to be a guaranteed lead because, in my opinion, one of the biggest ways that they have been able to win games can't work against me because that's Colossal. Colossal doesn't work into this team. Empoleon, Aqua Jetting the Colossal just doesn't work. So, because of Ogerpon. Plus, I have a positive matchup into it because of the Ivy Cudgel. A little bit of chip on the Colossal and it will die to Ivy Cudgel. So, I feel pretty good about it. I've got to be worried about other things, such as the Beartic, and Farigiraf, which is one of the reasons why I got Taunt, is to stop Imprisoned Trick Room, because we do have a Trick Room mode, something I did not bring last time. So, also can stop annoying things like Spupa, which is nice. Taunt can also kind of, if I don't want to risk the OHKO on Alolan and Ninetales, then just Taunt it to stop Veil going up, which is great. So, yeah. I think Ogerpon's been an amazing Pokemon. Ogerpon Cornerstone has, I think, really shown its worth. So, I'm really happy. So, the first of the 2 modes, which was the thing that I chose not to show, was going with Trick Room. So, we've got our Bronzong here with Colbur Berry, Terra Water with Levitate, Gyro Ball, Psychic, Trick Room, and Protect. I believe this is enough defense so that Adamant Sneaseless Close Combat is not a 2-hit KO. The rest in special defense, which also means we live I believe it's a Specs Dragon Ball Shadow Ball. Gyro Ball Psychic is the moves of choice for the offense, or like anything that isn't Trick Room plus Protect. I would have liked to run other things, but the thing is, when it comes to Fake Out, they've got two good Fake Outers. One of them is one of them's Thwacky and the other one's Sneasler. If it's a Thwacky lead and they Fake Out Ogerpon, that their grassy terrain will actually give us back Sturdy. So them faking us out is fine because we don't have Protect on the Ogerpon, whereas obviously we have Protect on Bronzong. But if they Fake Out Ogerpon, then we get our Sturdy back, which is at least nice. Whereas if it's Sneasler, we won't get it back. So we've got the Psychic on Bronzong to Oko it. And then as a result, just the Steel move of choice was Gyro Ball. It's Gyro Ball or Heavy Slam, and I figured Gyro Ball was generally better. Like, I can't really hurt Farigiraf no matter what Steel move I choose to use that will guarantee Oko Alolan Ninetales, so I just want to make sure I can guarantee Oko Alolan Ninetales, because then, you know, stopping Veil is very, very nice. Also, it does pretty good damage into Pokemon like Dragapult, can do good damage into Crook, Sneasler, if I don't want to Psychic it for whatever reason, if it, like, Terrors. All Pokemon that are in faster modes like Beartic. So, yeah. And then Terra Water is for the Colossal, just in case, just a generally nice defensive Terra typing. So, feel pretty good with Bronzong here. And obviously, if we're pairing it, anything with it, it's going to be our Hariyama, who we are for the first time going with Guts Flame Orb. I haven't gone Guts Flame Orb all season. I went Guts last week to, you know, make sure I didn't get Scald Burned. And it ruined my life. But this time we're going Guts Flame Orb. And this is in part because of Veil. So I can just break past it. But when I came to making the Hariyama set, I actually realized I had room to put on Brick Break. So we've got Brick Break anyway, along with Knockoff and Facade. Honestly, kind of forgot about Facade. I was going to go Drain Punch plus EQ. And then I was like, wait a minute, Facade exists. Why am I not using that? So, here we are. And then the last move being Protect is kind of strange because it's not Fake Out. Now you might think, why is it not Fake Out? Well, I kind of picked up something from Lord Nobody and want to see if I can use a little bit of what they've done against them. See, something they've done really, really well is utilize Colossal, and then have it be a big scary threat, and then just Protect with it. And then just let, like, the partner Pokemon get Chip. So, I'm going to try and do that a little bit with Hariyama as well. Because it's going to be a major threat that they're going to want to take out. So, as for the EVs, we are Max Attack. I just want to make sure I do as much damage as possible. There were some Pokemon that just were, like, uncomfortably living without Max Attack, so I just went with Max Attack. Enough special defense that I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember. I think it was a Specs... Was it Specs Draco? It might have just been a regular... I think it was a regular Draco. I think it was a regular Draco from Dragapult, and then I lived the burn after that as well, so... But I think I did the calc and then I put in a little bit of extra HP. The HP that we've got here means that this is the max amount of HP I can invest without taking any more burn chip. If I go to 224 HP, then I take 1 extra point of burn damage. 223 means I don't. The little bit of defense investment means we guarantee a live a close combat from Sneasler. That was most of my physical defensive checks, defensive calcs with Adamant Sneasler close combat, and most of my special defensive were looking at, like, Pult Dracos in some fashion. So, yeah. Really, really nice. Hariyama is going to be a great breaker. And I think even if they expect Trick Room, it's kind of... I haven't brought Hariyama with Guts Flame Up the entire season. I've brought, like, EV Thick Fat for most of it. In fact, not all of it. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of a bit of a way to throw them off guard. However, that's not our only way to use Ogerpon, because we've got the same thing that I said at the start of the season here with us today. Yuzu the Moth, Volcarona, with Terra Fairy, with Fiery Dance, Terra Blast, Quiver Dance, and Protect. There was no singular Terra that I could go here that would be perfect, so I've just gone with what I think is the best. Our Terra Fairy has notably one downside, and that is Sneasler. If Sneasler comes, that means this Volcarona is going to be very awkward to position and make sure it's set up properly. Because if it's an adamant max speed Sneasler, unless I'm +3 in speed, it's going to outspeed me and then kill me, because there's nothing I can do about that if I'm a fairy type, that is. But otherwise, Volcarona looks amazing. Fiery Dance plus Terra Blast, like Fire Fairy, just is it's perfect neutral coverage against their team. Barring Colossal exactly, I think that's the only one. But if I turn into a fairy type and start Quiver Dancing, Colossal can't touch me. So that doesn't matter. Even if it gets boosted, which it won't, because I've got an Ogerpon next to me that allows Volcarona to get at least 1, if not 2, Quiver Dancers. And if there's a Sneasler, I'll just make sure I get to 3. So, yeah. Volk is amazing. We've got enough speed to outspeed Jolly Max Speed Beartick in Snow after a +1 speed, which is great. I think the special attack was just so that, like, I know +1 Terra Blast is going to be KOing anything that it's super effective against. I think +1 Terra Blast was going for Sneasler, but to be honest, I think that's a bit redundant. I know Fiery Dance is going to be going for Ninetales, things like that. It's just very, very strong. And then, just the rest in bulk. I don't remember exactly how I EV'd it for bulk. Yeah, no clue, to be honest. So, I made the sets a few days ago, so I only made notes for, like, a couple Pokemon, so, yeah. But we've got to have some different Pokemon in the back, so I wanted to make sure I've got some just generally good Pokemon. And first of those actually did come last time. So for reference, last time we brought we brought 4 of the 6 we're bringing this time. We brought Ogerpon, we brought Volcarona, we brought Hariyama, and we are re-bringing back Chloritzer. But we are Dragon Fang Terra Dragon. Terra Dragon is actually a really decent defensive typing here, so that's kind of why I want to go with it. And I was struggling to figure out what coverage I wanted, while also still making sure I've got Protect, because Chloritzer is really bad into Thwacky, but it's really great into the rest of their team. So I was struggling to figure out, because I wanted Protect to make sure it could be safe from it, stall out like a turn of grassy terrain. I can live a grassy glide, it's just Woodhammer is going to nuke me. So I was trying to figure out what coverage I wanted that would let me hit the most things. I was like, I want Flash Cannon for Ninetales, Aura Sphere is really great for Crocodile and for Beartick and for Colossal. I wanted a water move, I wanted an ice move. But then I just kind of thought about it. I was like, wait, why don't I just run Dragon Pulse? And I could just spam Dragon Pulse with Dragon Fang, and it does a ton of damage. It's gonna OHKO Pult, and then the super effective hits are gonna, do the things that they need to. OHKO the Pokemon that they need to, like Crocodile. It's a 2-hit KO on even Spadef Empoleon, I believe. So, Beartic will get blasted by it. I don't think that's an OHKO. Beartic's pretty bulky. I mean, probably an OHKO after Life Orb, to be fair. But otherwise, we can just click Dragon moves, and the only real... There's 2 resists, really. There's, the Empoleon, which are going to get blasted by Aura Sphere. And then there's Ninetales, and to an extent, Terra Fairy Farigiraf, which I would expect. And that's why Flash Cannon comes in. So, just Dragon, Steel, and Fighting coverage does really well here. So, modest max special attack for the most amount of damage. Enough speed to outspeed a 4-speed Thwackey, and then the rest in HP and defenses. So, I think it's really, really solid here. I brought it last time for a reason, and yeah, I think it's really solid. So, but this last Pokemon, I did not expect to be bringing by a long shot. So, the first real battle of the season. It's Honchkrow. That's right. The only other battle I brought it was a meme week, where me and Final Gambit agreed to meme. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought Honchkrow looks really good here. Like, I originally had the Trick Room mode planned back even in week 5 when I prepped. Obviously, I know Volk's really good. But Honchkrow never came to mind until I started thinking about this match, and I was like, wait, Honchkrow's really good here. Because if you look at their team, like, as long as Honchkrow can take a hit, which, trust me, the defenses let it, it can do some really good damage. It's great for Thwackey, which my Chloris is worried about. It's great for the Farigiraf, which I'm worried about it going for Imprisoned Trick Room. It's great for Sneasler, which my Volcarona's worried about. It's great for Dragapult, which my team is generally quite worried about. I'm actually bringing something to resist Dragapult, which is great. And can do great damage overall. Not only that, but we've got Tailwind as well. Tailwind, with this much speed, means we can outspeed the Beartic that I mentioned. Beartic in snow, it hits 213 speed with Jolly. With this, we outspeed it. So even if they go for an attack into us with something else, because we won't live like an Icicle Crash from that thing. But we can make sure we outspeed it. And anything else they really have. With the Razor Claw, Super Luck Night Slash, that is a guaranteed critical hit and will be OHKOing Farigiraf, which is brilliant. It'll OHKO Dragapult as well, which is great, and it also gets to play around Crocodile's Intimidate, because, it's critting, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, with the attack investment that we've got, the benchmark for it was actually that a max HP Eviolite Thwackey will die to a critical hit Drill Peck, which is a 50% chance because of Razor Claw plus Super Luck. So, yeah. I've actually got notes on the side here for Honchkrow, because I did a lot of work to make sure that Honchkrow worked for this game, and boy does it. Boy does it. So, that's the benchmark I was going for. OHKO Sneasler doesn't need a crit. And while it's not great, I had a few EVs left over, which were allowing Honchkrow to maybe get a bit extra rolls, which means that even max HP Ninetales has a 93% chance to get KO'd by 2 crits from Drill Peck, which sounds unrealistic, but that's a 1 in 4 chance. So, does 48 to 57 with a crit, which is not bad. So, like I say, the main thing was the making sure I KO'd the Farigarath. But then the defensive investment is also amazing. We get to live a close combat from an adamant Sneasler with this defensive investment, and then with the special defense, we guarantee live a Blizzard from Ninetales, which is great. That's what the defensive investments are going for. So, and this also means that the first ones I was going for were, so it's living that, it's living the max special attack Blizzard. It's living, let me see, do I have one for Draco? I don't. I think Draco was about the same as this. Don't know if it was Specs. I don't think it was Specs Draco. I think regular Draco also isn't a kill from Dragapult. But the other one I was mainly looking at was Modest Max Special Attack Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam from Farigarath. Does not KO us either. So, and we got the Terra Steel as well for defensive. Same with Hariyama as well, I didn't mention it, but just both of these for defensive Terra. Just Terra Steel makes the most sense, so. But for Honchkrow, resist the fairy moves. That's the main one, really, the fairy moves, but also the ice moves. Resist both of those rock moves. And then for Hariyama, resist flying, psychic, and fairy. So, yeah. Yeah, I think this is the team to do it. Gauji was on this team at one point, but because I ended up bringing Honchkrow, I didn't want 3 Ice Weeks. I lost to Beartic last time. I think bringing 3 Ice Weeks would be a death sentence, especially because Ogerpon's always leading. There's a good chance that if I go for a Trick Room, there's a good chance I bring my slow special attacker, which is where Chloritza comes in. Which it's like, wait, you're running a ton of speed. It's like, yeah, but on their faster Pokemon, like, even things like Crocodile, then Chloris is still fine on the Trick Room. So, Dragalge could have been in this spot, but I didn't want a ton of Ice Weeks. So, yeah, I think we've got a super good matchup. So, let's see if we can take a second season in a row. Because if we do, I mean, that's a UBL first. I'm obviously the most accomplished player in the UBL at this point, and while it's, you know, it's nice, I do, and, you know, obviously I'd love to win. I do like to win, funnily enough. Do want to make sure that, what am I trying to say? I want to get this win, and then I feel really good, like, so, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm just rambling. We're playing late tonight, so wish me luck after this almost half an hour team builder, but it's finals, baby. So that'll do it, and I'll see you guys for the match. Alright, this is it. Finals versus Lord Nobody for Season 11 of UBL. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm always nervous, but hey, can you blame me? It's finals. But I feel confident. Probably the first time I've ever gone into a finals feeling confident, mind you, but I feel confident. I feel confident in the team, I feel confident in the multiple game plans that we have access to. I feel confident we can take 2 seasons of UBL in a row. And, yeah, I'm just curious what Lord Nobody's going to bring, because they could bring a multitude of combinations, but it's whether It's whatever they choose to bring. Because if they bring cold, they're down on 1. Basically. They're down on 1 if they bring coal. Yeah, they removed Reg E, which is annoying. But this will be the last one for Reg E, for Regulation E, and then we'll be moving into Regulation F and Indigo Disc. So, last one for Teal Mask. Let's do this. They did bring coal. I'm stunned. I am stunned they brought coal. So weirdly, when I actually went against Kathy and they had coal, it turned out that the Volcarona lead was actually better, especially because they didn't bring Sneasler, which is really, really nice. So I'm gonna go with that first. God, Chloritza looks so good here. I think we do Chloritza and we bring Honchkrow. Dragapult Spupa. Okay. I don't know what kind of pult this is yet, so I think to be safe, I'm gonna follow me and Terra Fairy and Quiver. Because I don't want this to be a physical one and then it darts me. They're DDing. I'm quivering. So it's physical. Which is an issue. Because I don't think my Moth can take a +1. It can. It can take a +1. So I think I have to go for the hit now. I can taunt here, and I'll just go for the Terra Blast into here. So it can't do any more DDs. But I can still redirect. I kind of forgot that they were gonna just Rage Powder. Well, having my Sturdy intact is still really nice. And they don't have a Terror anymore either. I mean, I'm just gonna go for Follow Me, right? I think I'd Follow Me and Terra Blast, even though Bolt is probably just going for Phantom Force here. But if they don't, then I mean, what else are they gonna do? Like No, it doesn't get stealing anymore. Like, I don't know what it would be. Let me have a look at his moveset. Maybe I'm just missing something. I feel like I'm not, but you know. It would just be Claw. His only physical ghost move is Phantom Force. Sucker, maybe. No, I can't see anything. I'm gonna Quiver. I think Quivering's right. Because the thing is, they don't know what moves I have either. They don't know if their Farig's even safe. It is darts. I'm stunned that it went for darts. That's a-okay with me. Okay, what does more? Oh, hurry! Sorry, Chloris is killing. There's no guarantee that Honchkrow does, so we'll go Chloris. Also, Chloris, I think, is more likely to be slower than this, so we'll just go for Dragon Pulse here. I could Protect, but what am I scared of? That's a solid 50%. And I'm not really afraid of this? They brought, like, a backdoor Trick Room Coal, which is strange. It could be physical? I actually like going for Dragon Pulse into Farig and then protecting Bulk. I want to see if this is a physical or a special Coal. And then also, if I take out Farig, then I force in the Pult. And regardless of what set this Coal is, it can't really touch Chloris, so... Which I know it's Psy Shock instead of Psychic as well. Yeah, they go for Psy Shock there, and it is special. Okay, that's good to know. Hulk comes in. So... Yeah, so we go for Dragon Pulse into the Claw. Oh, sorry, into the Coal. That did nothing. Yeah, because I got my Citrus, I forgot about that, so... Oh, it's Power Herb, okay. It's good to know, because it's not weakness policy. All Corona, baby. So, now that they've seen me go for that, I wonder if they switch it up. So, I think I do the same lead, but I have Hariyama in the back if they want to go for Trick Room. And then probably Chloris, alright? Yeah. So that did 55%. So that's against my Volcarona, not banded. It's not going to be Adamant, it's going to be Jolly. And they didn't even see me bring Conch Pro. Still think it looks great here. But, I'm gonna fully bait them. Ooh, not what I expected. That is also not an Intimidate one, which is interesting. I think I'm just gonna go for Protect Taunt. It's Terra Dragon. I'm gonna taunt them. Then Scale Shot. Ooh, okay. I wonder if that's loaded dice then. I feel like it might be. So it could be Rock Slide from here on out. If I cudgel... I think I can't set up here. Because if I go for a setup, it will just kill me. I mean, no, right? No, because it's going to get to +1. No, I'm going to go for the Quiver. I think Quiver's probably right. Yeah, because now I'm faster than them. So I can go to Hariyama, because what I'm thinking is if I go Hariyama, then I kind of force them into protecting. But then they actually might get the Rage Powder off. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Claw. I'm going to Dragon Pulse. I'm making this hard of a read. No, if I'm doing this play, I'm not making that read. Just double check how. I feel like I know how. It's next 3 turns. Okay, no, so, no, I think it can taunt, it can Rage Powder next turn. I'm gonna go for Terra Blast. Oh, so risky. No, I'm gonna Dragon Pulse here and I'm gonna Protect. Oh, I got it wrong. I knew I should have called it. But it is still in the taunt, okay. I think I just need to double this crook. I think I'm in a really bad position, just because I've got Hariyama last. Because I don't think Terra Blast I don't think kills because of the Friend God. Oh, if I quivered there. Yeah, it lives because of Friend God. I get the kill on it. So I go for Dragon Pulse. But now I've got a -2 thingy. And then just the Hariyama. Oh, it's for sure Colossal in the back. Takes that out. Brick Break does get to take that out. But it is Coal last. And they miss the Heat Wave. That wins me the set. They can't beat Hariyama. It sucks to be that way, but that's it. Yeah. And we get to win 2-0 against Lord Nobody. It feels anticlimactic. To be honest, but it is what it is, I suppose. Just double check this. Yeah, that is the game. So yeah, we did it. I can't really say much more than that. I'll give my thoughts a bit more in the post thing that I'll do. But yeah, that's it. GG's to Lord Nobody, and I'll see you guys in just a second. So we're back to talk about this team. The Everton Espions for Season 11. And what a season. We went 6-2 in the regular season, losing to Lord Nobody and to Cathay. We would have played either one of them in the finals. And we played Lord Nobody. And it was sad it ended the way it did. Lord Nobody and I have had some truly incredible sets, and I'll put it how it is. It didn't feel close. It genuinely didn't feel close. This one felt like, so I've had now 4 wins in the UBL. And I'm gonna say it how it is. This felt like the easiest. Now, I don't even think that's because everyone else's team was bad. I don't think that's even because people played bad either. People gave me competition and matches weren't easy. But this team did everything I could ever ask it to do. To a point where, like, games were easy because this team let it be. This team was stupid good for what it was. And yeah, I can't really say much more than that. I think the team itself was that good that, I'm not joking, I think anyone who had this team could have made playoffs. I was just the one who was able to draft it because I knew what I wanted and I knew what I thought was good. I also think I've proved some Pokemon to be better than they were. And yeah, so really excited for the coming season, of course, but let's talk about each individual piece as we tend to do. So starting with our not 1 point, but our E-tier pick, Happiny here. The only Pokemon who came to 1 game. I mean, it was actually really solid in that 1 game. I definitely consider, like, after this week, I considered it for every other week. So, yeah, not a Pokemon I would be willing to underestimate, and definitely a Pokemon that we moved up in tiers, because E-tiers were supposed to be Pokemon that were literally worthless. This wasn't. This has Friend Guard. That's a good ability. And can live hits, surprisingly. I think this was to live, like, King Gambit Kowtow. That's crazy. Yeah, great Pokemon. Super solid low tier pick, and if you've got set up mons that you just want to keep alive, then absolutely. Friend Guard's an amazing ability. Friggin' Lord Nobody has showed that here. had Spuper, and that's Rage Powder plus Friend Guard on a D tier. It's a good mon. So, yeah. Probably wouldn't be drafting this as a D tier, but if there's nothing else, I suppose it wouldn't be the worst thing. So, I think after that, there was only one Pokemon who actually only came to 2 games, and that is one we'll actually have to go to Regulation F for, because it's Chloris. Not Chloris, it's Honchkrow. Honchkrow, I wish it came. I wish it came to that finals, and it did technically, it just never got sent out, and it's really sad. I think this Honchkrow could have done so much, and sure, we had the meme week with it. I genuinely think this finals was amazing for it. It's just, they didn't bring the right Pokemon. I was expecting, like, they didn't bring, Lord Nobody didn't bring Thwackey, they didn't bring Sneasler, so it was just a lot worse. They brought things like Empoleon, and Crook, which was a lot worse for Honchkrow. So, like, there was Spuper, which wasn't bad, but yeah. Honchkrow, great Pokemon. I actually, like, it was tough to fit onto teams. Excuse me one second. Sorry, sneezing. Don't know where that came from. But yeah, I think, honestly, because I had this one experience with Honchkrow, I can see myself drafting it again. It's just, it's a bit difficult for me to use. So, I'll have to see, though. I do, like, we used it twice. I think it's not too bad. What would be after that, then? Because there was a lot of Pokemon that we brought a lot of times. And it's really kind of difficult to decipher, to be honest. By the looks of things, it looks like we only brought Dragougi twice as well, which is kind of surprising. Dragougi I still think is a really solid Pokemon in draft, especially for where it's at in the points. I just think it's a great Pokemon. It does really good damage, it's super bulky, it's great for TR. It's not slow, but it's slow enough where TR modes can fully work with it. It was our kind of dedicated special attacker for Trick Room, and I think it's a really good one. Just a lot of damage and can take hits, and I think the typing's great. Obviously the ability, the coverage. Can't believe it got Shadow Ball for some reason. Strange, but yeah, I think Dragougi is a great Pokemon. I'm always happy to draft Dragougi. I think it's great. So, yeah. No faults with Dragougi. I think it's a great Pokemon. I think after that it's Guardy? I think it's a tie between Guardy and Chloritzer. So, let's talk about Guardy. Because I think Guardy's an interesting one because I actually did draft it before. And, well, this time I drafted it and I didn't drop it, which is crazy. But it was actually good. I actually got to use it. Similarly, I wish it got to do its thing in semis, where, like, I designed it to be really good into Jig, and it just, the team that they brought wasn't good for it, which is really sad. It was kind of Guardy's time to shine, but it sadly didn't get a chance to show its thing. But I've come around a bit more on Guardy now, using it a bit more. Did I use Scarf twice? I did. Honestly, I was pretty happy with Bulky. I liked the Bulky set, and if I could support it more with like Follow Me, and maybe try and get it some Calm Mind stuff going, I think it's pretty solid. It's just a solid Pokemon overall. Can't really go too wrong with Guardy. It's a question of whether I've got room for that Psychic Fairy typing on my team, which is usually the issue with it. This time we doubled up on the Psychics, and just said screw it, but and it sometimes limited what we brought, but at the same time it was still really good. So yeah, actually happy with Guardy. And then no, because we actually brought Chloritzer to finals as well, so we'll save on talking about Chloritzer, and I guess talk about Kilowattrel? Kilowattrel's next? Dang. I guess Chloritzer and Kilowattrel are the same. So, I guess we'll talk about Chloritzer next. Chloritzer was a great Pokemon. I forgot I used Iron Ball. I really like it. Again, similar to what's it called? To Dragalge. They're both very similar. In which they're strong, special attacking, bulky Pokemon, but Chloritz got the water typing and very different coverage. Dragalge's kind of like got the Poison Dragon, water plus I think Thunderbolt. Yeah, Thunderbolt kind of coverage, which is certainly nice. But Chloritz kind of has the unique water dark fighting coverage, along with ice and steel. Shadow Ball for niche cases, and for what I ended up doing in the finals, which was just Dragon. Just using Dragon Pulse, and just almost treating it like a Dragon type. Yeah, Chloris is actually a really solid Pokemon as well. Again, something I knew going into draft. I felt like Chloris was just a good Pokemon, and I think this kind of proved it as well. I even think Chloris could be better on some other teams. For example, on Lord Nobody's team, they had Empoleon. Imagine if that was Chloritzer, because Chloritzer can Aqua Jet. So, like, Chloritzer is great with Colossal as well. So, like, there's possibilities with that. There was some points in which I was even considering, like, I was thinking about, what if I went, like, Weakness Policy Volcarona with Aqua Jet Chloritzer? And I just started nuking things, and it just kind of didn't quite work. The idea would have been for Ogerpon, but obviously Ogerpon can't hold the Weakness Policy, so, yeah. But yeah, I fully recommend Chloritzer. Great Pokemon. Just, you can bulk it out, and if you don't need the max damage that the Pokemon offers, then you can just make it bulky and make it take hits, because it's got a good enough bulk to take hits, which is really nice. You can easily make it take 2 neutral hits, no problem. So, and then Kilowattrel, which we brought more early than late, it feels like. Oh, we brought it 6 times. Never mind. Dang, we're really getting through these. So yeah. I think Kilowattrel was good in theory, less good than I thought it would be. The speed, great. The abilities, great. Actually using the thing, not so much. It was mediocre, to be honest. It was a really great Tailwind setter. But honestly, that was kind of about it. Like, it was the Tailwind Pokemon of choice, and it was fast. Don't get me wrong, it was fast, and it was great at doing Tailwind. But that was really all it was good for. It was really only good for Tailwind. The utility is dealing a bit of damage, because otherwise it's like, sure, you can Thunder Wave things and maybe Eerie Impulse, but you may as well just hit them for like 40%. Like, okay. Just wasn't as good as I was expecting or hoping. Maybe hoping to deal a bit more damage, maybe to catch more Intimidates, really. It probably dissuaded some Intimidates, like maybe against Lord Nobody they didn't bring Intimidate because I've got a competitive Kilowattrel. And maybe that helped more than I realized, but yeah, I still, it was the right call. Like, it gave me a Disquake mode the 1 week I tried it, but not something I'd be seeking out to use again, let's put it that way. So, but yeah, I think overall, those were kind of some of the mons that, like, solid to okay mons that I think I used. I think most of those I was at least somewhat happy with. I'd say some more than others. But overall, I think I liked using most of those. But now I want to get into some of the ones that I was a bit more happy with. We're going to have a bit of a music switch up for these ones, because these ones felt much better. These next few really felt much better. And I think it's fair to start with one that we've talked about before. let's talk about Bronzong. This is now 2 seasons in a row in which I have won with Bronzong, and I think it's fair to say it's a great Pokemon. I never want to use Pokemon that I've used multiple seasons in a row, but Bronzong just fit the team so well for the Trick Room setter that I needed, and oh boy is it a good Pokemon. You can't rule out the Zong. Semi-finals, won us it because Jake didn't bring anything to beat Bronzong. And it just has that potential just to win games, while also just being a really bulky Trick Room setter with its abilities and items. It's just so hard to stop at times. So, like, I understand why people were having trouble with it, and just the ability to just be so bulky, great typing. Like I've talked about Bronzong a myriad of times before, and I think it's fair to say that just it's an amazing Pokemon, and I think it's not going to be undrafted next season. Whether I pick it or not, I doubt I'm going to pick it. I don't want to use a Pokemon 3 seasons in a row. But, yeah, I doubt anyone's going to let this thing go unattended because of what I did with it this season. Amazing, amazing Pokemon. But what about its partner in crime? That's right. Hariyama. There's a team with it. There we go. Hariyama. Oh, I'm so glad I got to use this thing. Whew. This was definitely a unique set, going with the bulk up set. But most of the time, it was just this. It was fake out Assault Vest Hariyama treating it like a baby Iron Hands. And you know what? That was a-okay. It's got the coverage, it's got the damage, it's got the bulk even to just do that, and it's really good at it. And it's great at just doing damage in Trick Room. It was my physical attacker of choice in Trick Room. And I also think I proved that it is not just a gut sweeper. We brought it in finals, and that's it for gut sweeping. Otherwise, I'll go off Berry with Wide Guard. We've got AV, we've got AV. Like, they're all AV fake-out supports for the most part, so it just really shows, and Clear Amulet here, I suppose. But yeah, it's a great, great Pokemon, and don't use it in just that one-dimensional way, because it doesn't have to be. If Sheer Force ends up working out for some moves that you need, it's an option. Guts is an already great way to just disincentivize people from, you know, reducing its damage output, because if it is Guts, then you're buggered. So, yeah, yeah, I'd absolutely love to use Hariyama again. It's a great Pokemon. I think it needs the team for it. I don't think you can just draft Hariyama and just expect it to do things. I do think you need the right support for it, but if you've got the right support, it's an amazing Pokemon, and it also offers support, which is also great. So, basically, just make sure you got reliable Trick Room, and it will do wonders for you. So, and even if not, you can make it work outside of it. Just make sure you got the right Pokemon, I think. I think it works. I think you can make it work on most teams. So, and the last one, which I think is a bit of a surprise, is honestly Iron Treads. I brought Iron Treads a ton, and while it ran mostly the same set every time, like, look how many times I brought this thing. The fact that this thing can go booster speed, outspeed most if not everything, have the option to use Rock Tomb for speed control, and then just do good damage. It just does good reliable damage, with a great typing. It was a second steal alongside Bronzong, and I still think it was worth it. I really, really liked it. I would actually be super happy to draft them on again. Treads was a great, great Pokemon, and I think a Pokemon I vastly underrated. And I think was a very sleeper Pokemon for the team of how good it was. Like, it came to so many sets, and I think was like kind of the dark horse of the team, where it came a lot and then, I mean, it put in work. So, yeah. Really happy with Treads. Cannot recommend it enough. Might want a bit of support with it, but for the most part, I think it's a great Pokemon to just have on a team, just as a great ground type. But now we get to the final two. The final two in which the whole draft was based on. The duo that the whole thing was based on. And can I say it carried me? Maybe just a tad at times. Maybe just some games. It was the reason that we won. Let's talk about Lamoth first. Volcarona. Busted ass mom. I was half tempted to say we should move this to S and make it so it can't Terra. But it will go undrafted if it couldn't. I'll be honest. It is the Pokemon I think that's one of, if not the best in A tier that we have. And there's an argument for it to go into S. So it can't Terra. But I don't think it gets drafted if it can't Terra. But with Terra, this was the Pokemon that I said, I was like, okay, with open Terra of of A and below, this is the Pokemon that will be the most abused with it. And it wasn't as abused as I expected. I ended up using a lot more of the Pokemon a lot more different Pokemon than I thought I would. But boy, when Volt came, oh boy, that when Volt came, and I remembered to Terra with it, thanks against Kathy, I forgot to Terra against it, with it even. Yeah, I think it's a unbelievable Pokemon. And back when I had it in Season 9, I didn't really do it justice. I think I just kind of wasn't able to do it justice. I think for the few games that Volcarona did come and it showed up, it put the fear of God in people. And made people massively respect Volk. And yeah, I can't really say much more. Glad to have drafted Volk again and shown how much of a terror it truly can be. Oh, thank you, Yuzu. You beautiful moth thing that kills everyone, apparently. But now for the one who, if I didn't get, I didn't know what I was going to do. Our little Cozy Gremlin Ogerpon Cornerstone, in which I think it ran max speed, max attack every single time, it came to every single week, and it only didn't run max when it in like the finals and semi-finals, in which it was still like max speed and then just like a little bit of defenses to maybe catch like some random calcs. But overall, oh my god, this Mon, I love it. I knew it was right for me. Follow me, Sturdy. And to be honest, Sturdy never really kicked in. Sturdy rarely ever kicked in. But the ability to do this much damage with great coverage and have Follow Me, like, it was always amazing. Spiky Shield, Taunt was used a couple times. Like, it's going through every single set, because every single week, there was no reason for me not to bring it. Brick Break to counter screens, more Brick Break to counter screens, just Throat Chop for good Dark offense, just amazing, amazing Pokemon. U-turn, I used U-turn in semis and finals just to make sure it could pivot. Just an unbelievable Pokemon. Not an S tier though. No, sorry, not an S plus tier. Doesn't. But I'm so glad I got to use it. I knew it was the right Pokemon for me, and I think I proved how good it really is. The Ogapons are all good, in reality. We only got to see 2, and they did both make playoffs. Rat made playoffs with Wellspring. Yeah, I cannot be happier, with this team, really. It did its job, and let us win something that I think a lot of people are going to struggle to do, and that is win 2 seasons in a row. This team was unreal. Looking back on it, looking at how I used it, it really was disgustingly good. Like, it's an amazing draft, and I love using it. This might be one of the best drafts that I've ever done. Like, as in, objectively, this is an insanely good draft. So, it had so few flaws that were so hard to capitalize on. And, like, it was so difficult. Like, the few times I did do prep, like, and mocks, I mean, obviously I prepped, but the few times I did mocks, it felt unreal. It genuinely felt unreal. And, like, Kathy, who I was mocking with, was just like, this feels unreal. Like, this feels so hard to deal with. And sure, they beat me in the regular season, but, yeah, like, I could not have... They were the only person to escape me, basically, on me not getting them back. But they felt it in the mocks that we did, and knew that this team was insane, and I think this team was insane. So, probably one of the objective best drafts I've ever had, and it carried me all the way to the top. So, yeah, even if not every Pokemon really fit me and did as much as I would have liked, it can't be underestimated how good all the Pokemon worked well together. So, but yeah, I've rambled on enough. We've got another season coming up. Can we get a three-peat? That is the question. We'll have to find out. I've got a plan on what I want to do. See you guys then. Peace.